Well, guys, 2025 is over, and because it is, we thought, why not take a look at a few of our favorites from the year and maybe give a few updates as well. From Bigfoot to the paranormal, this is the Kinda Creepy wrap up. Okay, creeps. This week, Matt and I we've pulled a couple of our favorite videos from the last year so we can discuss them just a little bit. But wait, there's more. We also have a couple of updates on a few of the things we played over the year. So this is our attempt to get you to go back and watch other videos, I guess. It's not really. We thought it'd be fun to do a couple updates. Actually, what started this is Matt was like, "Hey man, you know the one video?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I have an update." I was like, "Oh, cool." And upon further investigation, I was like, I might have an update too. And then we just thought it would be interesting to go back over what we've played over this year and say what were some of our favorite things. So what we kind of did is we each pulled, I think, 2 clips. One is our paranormal clip and one is our cryptid clip. So what was one of our favorite cryptids? What was one of our favorite paranormal events? I also want to say there were a couple episodes, just overall episodes that I enjoyed doing more than others. We've talked about it personally, but the Amityville episode, I really enjoyed doing that one because I liked doing a deeper dive into Amityville, and we didn't just do the traditional "this is the Amityville haunting." We actually dove deep into the story behind it and what we thought was actually going on there. So if you guys haven't watched that one, totally should. I really enjoyed doing the deep dive into the
I'll link it up there.
Oh yeah, it's right wherever Matt put it. I really enjoyed it's over there.
Straight above me.
There. I can't. It's over that. It's so hard. Anyway, I also really enjoyed doing the deep dive into Sierra Sounds. That one was a fun one. If you guys haven't checked that one out, you totally should. Sierra Sounds are a series of recordings that were done in the 70s, right? 70s?
Yeah, I believe it was the 70s.
That is supposedly Bigfoot, and these have been highly debated. And we went real deep into that one. That was a lot of fun, too. But I think one of my... I don't know if favorite is the correct word. One of my favorites that we've done this season was one of our most recent. And that's the Watts family. I think to me, that one offers the most compelling paranormal evidence that I think some of it that I've ever really witnessed. And it's all EVP stuff, but it's because of where it came from and how it came through. And that one really gave me the creeps. It really did. So if you haven't watched that one, you should watch that one. So what about you? Do you have any favorite episodes from the season, that things you just really enjoyed doing or talking about, or ones that really stuck out to you?
My personal absolute favorite one, just because of the context of the whole thing, was the one where I actually interviewed my mom and my brother.
That one was a lot of fun.
That was really cool. I got to kind of relive stories that I experienced growing up and learn more about ones that I wasn't around for at the time too, which is kind of cool.
If I can ever get time with my sister, we're going to do the same. It's just
and I'd also like to say, as much of a nightmare as it became, another one was the episode we did with the guys from Behind the Funny. That was a lot of fun.
The one you did with the guys
Jay didn't really get to experience too much of it, but
I was paranormally wiped out of that show.
Yeah. And then there's another one that just I don't know, the story behind it, some of the more tragic ones, for whatever reason, seem to be ones that I kind of hold a special place. And
it's hard to say the word enjoyed or favorite, but favorites.
Yeah. It's the well, if it isn't paranormal, then what is it? That kind of thing. And that's the one where, and I feel bad because I forget her name, but the little girl that visits the grave at night.
Yeah.
That episode Like the discussion on that was really cool.
Interesting that you say that. So we actually brought some clips, and what we found is that we looked at some of the same clips when we considered what to bring, and that was one of the ones I considered
Oh, okay.
for one of my favorite paranormal clips.
Yeah.
Was that because here's the weird thing about that: if it's not a ghost girl, then there's just a random little girl
Yeah.
roaming the cemetery at 3:00 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is also weird and creepy.
Surprisingly dressed like the girl that everybody thinks that it is. And
Yeah.
when the mother of the little girl looks at it and goes, "That's my daughter,"
That's my daughter.
it's just like, in my opinion, why would you question it anymore at that point in time? Like, she knows that that's her daughter. If that brings her comfort, then that brings her comfort.
And knowing Matt the way I know Matt,
so.
it's playing somewhere right now, so you can actually see the clip.
Yeah.
And so it's a really weird one. We just gave you a real quick rehash in case you didn't watch that episode, and you should because there were other clips.
Yeah.
Basically,
we actually have everything from season 1 in a playlist, so I'll put
cool.
that in there. And everything from season 1's in a playlist. Everything from season 2 is going into playlists as we make them. So yeah, those will they'll be in there, and go back and check them out. You never know, you never know, you definitely will know. The episodes that we are doing updates are all going to be featured in those. So those are all in there.
Yep. And speaking of that, what I kind of proposed to Matt and what we ended up doing was, like I said, we each went and pulled a single clip from our favorite cryptid and our favorite just paranormal event. I don't know how to explain it. Like I went straight ghost, but Matt didn't, and it makes sense when we'll talk about it. And then we're gonna play those, and then we're gonna kind of discuss why these stood out to us the most. So we're gonna start with my cryptid, and for me, I think my favorite, and this was tough for me, but my favorite cryptid video of the year had to be the Colorado Bigfoot, the expedition, the guys that were out there on the from Colorado River Expeditions.com. So this was one of those things. These guys were out there. They were doing, I think, like white water stuff, and they were
it was whitewater rafting.
And if you watch the whole video, there's a lot of discussion. He doesn't see it. I did some clipping. They're talking about it. He's looking all over for it, which to me helps add a little credence because he's like, "What are you guys talking about?" Like he couldn't find it. Finally, they find it. What makes this interesting to me is that if you guys don't know, at the same time that this was going on, months apart, a very similar looking Bigfoot was filmed in Colorado on a train, and that one also became very famous last year. But a lot of people have said, well, we think that maybe they were faking it to get attention. I don't know, man. And there's so many things about this that there's a lot of focus on it. I mean, it's very far away. They're zoomed in. But if it's a costume, like, again, we have talked about this, you'd have to have a really good costume to not want to try to hide it.
Yeah.
Also, it's mannerisms. It does things that don't make sense to me, and I don't think that a person would do those things. Like, I think a person would go
weird little
back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it kind of ducks and walks out of the scene. And I'm like, I don't think people. I think a human would go, well, how would a primate type creature act? And they wouldn't come up with this. They would just like, like do stupid stuff. I don't know. I will say that I looked for an update on this one. They had said they were going to go back out and look for tracks and stuff. If they did, they obviously didn't find anything because they never, no updates that I could find. But this one was just really intriguing to me. If it all comes out that it's fake I don't think it will.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's definitely not a Sasquatch sitting on the ground leaning against a tree.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma.
I also dubbed this one the Jamie Heineman Bigfoot or the Wilford Brimley Bigfoot because
he's got the big old.
I don't think he does. I actually think that's the tree that he like. I think it's the tree that makes it look like he's got a big mustache. But yeah. Anyway, this was just one of those that stood out to me. I remember watching it and saying, "See, this is really good Bigfoot evidence. It's clear for what we get. People are always like, why is it so fuzzy? I'm like, this is only grainy because it's at a distance and you're zoomed in as best you can. But what it isn't is shadowy and grainy, and like we get a couple really clear shots.
It's pretty clear.
So
yeah.
this one sort of stuck out for me.
I considered this one as well, to be honest. And
well, that's what makes your actual choice very interesting, because I considered yours.
yeah. So, want to go ahead and get into that one?
Yeah, let's go on to yours.
So for mine, I picked one of my personal favorite ones, and it turns out it was one of Jay's as well, and that would be the Josh Highcliffe, I believe is his name. The Skunk Ape video, and this is one where he is in the swamps of Florida hunting wild boar, and as Jay and I discussed off air, I got kind of in the weeds on some of the things about the wild boar aspect of it, but
I think so. I think most of that got cut from the episode.
It did, yeah.
Matt gave us a whole history lesson on wild boars.
Yeah,
and how many babies they have.
Like it's a population control kind of thing. Like they're an invasive species. This is kind of like what I was saying that got cut. Wild boars are an invasive species down in Florida, and it's kind of like a no limit hunting. Like you could, if you see one, take them out, because when they have a litter, or I don't know what I'll put it at the bottom, like what they call a bunch of babies. But when they have a bunch of babies, they have a lot of babies at a time, and then those babies go on to have even more babies, and it's just like the numbers grow exponentially. So, and they just like tear up everything down there. So he's out there in the swamp hunting wild boar, and he sees what he thinks is a bear. And we'll play the clip here as well. And it turns out it ain't no boar or ain't no bear, either one. So Josh Highcliffe Skunk Ape clip. And you can hear in the background, I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. He's trying to be as quiet as possible, but you hear a truck go by in the background because they're actually not that far from a road. But he sees this and starts filming it, thinking he's watching a bear rip a tree apart. And these are cypress trees, as we determined. But it grows straight up out of the water. So...
Oh, and to point some things out, he's wearing... I don't know if he's wearing a ghillie suit, but I know he's wearing some sort of camouflage.
Yeah.
So, and he's a little ways back, and I don't know if he does in this video. When we did the research, I think we said how far back he approximated he was from this.
Yeah.
And he's filming it from a distance. Again, he's got a lot of cover.
Yeah, this one just the sheer oh no aspect of it when it stands up, because right now it's kind of crouched down, presumably looking for grubs in the trees. It's looking for something to eat, and to pull bark off of a tree like that.
Yeah, ripping a cypress tree open like that, it would be difficult.
Yeah,
especially wearing a suit.
Yeah,
suit where he's standing in water.
Yeah. A bear could do, and they do that.
Yeah.
But bears are not this big.
Well, it's not shaped like a bear.
Yeah.
I could see why at first he might go, that's a bear, but you can see the long arms. You can see the head. It's not a bear head. Bears don't, they don't have a neck like that. They don't.
Yeah.
Also, we just know how a bear moves.
And then when it stands up right there, that's his cue. Get away, which presumably it just heard him run. So
yeah, and what you can barely hear in the background, but apparently was a lot louder to him. It stands up. You hear a semi truck or something go by, like
yeah.
And again, it's at a distance. It's not right by them, but it is close enough that it hears it. It stands up. Now he doesn't know if that's why it stood, but he thinks that's why it stood up. But yeah, I highly considered this one as well.
Yeah.
This is a really good clip.
Yeah, the whole the whole aspect of the fact that he's out there and armed, and when that stands up, it is enough for him to go, I'm not even going to try to shoot this thing. I just need to run. I just got to get out of here. And he just takes off running. To me, there is no way that this could be a hoax of any kind, because why would you? And I think this may be of something that got cut out during that episode, like the stuff that's in the water with this, whatever it is, we'll say, alleged skunk ape, whatever is in the water with them, like a person would not want to be in the water with that. There's all kinds of snakes, there's all kinds of alligators, and just not good stuff to be around. And
so the sheer acting abilities would have to be.
Yeah.
And what I want to this thing, which alleged skunk ape, which is by the way a Bigfoot, Sasquatch, skunk ape, all the same thing. The reason I say the acting would be, it's not moving like people who are putting on a show, putting on a performance, tend to do certain things. If this was a person in a suit, they are very nonchalant, man. They're not like, it's not like an action and they're over there going, okay, what do I do now? This looks like an animal hunting for food.
It's very like animal behavior. And then, it stands up, and when it stands up, like it just also, like, let me see if I can pause it at that point in time.
When it stands up, you see shoulder definition. You see shoulder blades. Like, again, it's such a quick scene, but boom, I see like shoulder blades. Like the way it stands is how a person stands, a big hulking person. And again, if it's a costume, we've talked about this. It's easy to pick up a cheap Bigfoot costume. It's a different story to get one that would move the way you need it to move. Almost impossible, and takes a lot of money. This one's very compelling.
Like it's very very, very interesting to me, and I mean that's why it made my top cryptid pick for the year. So
and we've said it does come out sometimes that we find out something's not legit, and we address it when that's the case. But this one, there was some skepticism on this one. We addressed all that skepticism and kind of proved why you're getting a lot of people when something comes out going, it's fake and here's why. And it's like, but is that legit? Or are you just saying it? Because people talk off the cuff a lot without actually doing research, and they say it and then it gets out there as if what they said was fact, when it's like they just said that. They just, because it was their opinion, they said it. They don't actually have anything to back that up. So
and we try to be as, here's the facts as we know them whenever we talk about a clip.
And if we don't, we tell you we don't.
To the best of our abilities. Yeah. If we don't know, we're not going to.
We'll straight up tell you, like, I have no idea if this is real or not.
Yeah.
But I saw it and it's interesting. So.
And then on top of that, that's kind of what led to this type of episode, is we've said things on the show with the information that we had at hand, and coming up in the update section, we're gonna do the exact thing we just talked about.
Which is interesting, because
we've gotten more information.
I know what one of Matt's updates is, like the video. I don't know what update he has.
Yep.
But it's one that I said the first time I saw it, like, I think this is total bullshit. I don't.
And like I told him, he's a little right and a little wrong. It'll make sense whenever we get to that. So, but coming up next, that
leads to my paranormal clip,
Jay's paranormal clip. Yeah,
and this actually leads into it really well, because when we played this, I was always like, this is really cool. It's creepy as all get out. I've always sort of been a little wishy-washy on it, and then watching the update makes me feel even more, but I do have some things to say about it. So this next one is my pick for one of the, I'll say, creepiest paranormal clips we watched over the last year. Not necessarily, I don't know that it's my favorite, but it's definitely one of the creepiest. This comes from Davo Valkrat, which we will put on the screen. You can watch a bunch of his videos over on TikTok. A little harder to find him on YouTube, but they do exist, but harder to find. He's a TikToker. This is in Mexico, so this is all in Spanish, so I'm going to give you as best a breakdown as I can. He's into paranormal stuff. He was in a little secondhand, like, thrift store. said he was drawn to this baby doll, very normal looking baby doll. It's not like anything crazy. He picked the baby doll up, bought it, took it home. Even though the shop owner apparently told him it was haunted, he bought it anyway. Weird shit starts happening in his house, all of which he starts documenting. So I have basically the original clip that we played, or for the most part. So let's go ahead and play that now, and I'll kind of explain what's going on since it's all in Spanish. So there's the doll, very normal looking. If you speak Spanish, cool. We do not. But what he's saying right now is like he's hearing noises in the house, and this is one of the boom is the first thing.
Okay.
So a creepy ass head pops out from around the corner. He's added some filters. Now, what he's going to do next is he's basically going to go, it's going to cut to a new video of him kind of showing how difficult it would have been for him to do this.
Parece tener el rostro como quemado.
I don't know what any of that means. I think it means scary ass head is looking at me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
¿Qué carajo es esto?
Yeah. If I remember right, there was a lot of EVP type stuff in this one too.
So he's showing you how high up that head came from.
Y aquí no se puede poner ninguna silla que no resalte.
He will kind of address it like, hey, there's a chair here. I could have, I guess, stood on the chair. Now, yes, and there will be EVPs and noises here, so I'll try to keep quiet, take some of it.
No entiendo qué.
And the footsteps running towards him. I forgot about that. I think this is the one also where he addressed the fact that people said, you know, hey, you should move. And he's like, yeah, I can't. There's no way I can move out of this house right now.
There was a voice right there.
Yeah, it's Kate Moss or something.
Me...
Oh, this is the one that I jokingly said it was saying Kate Moss.
Manchen. Es bien fácil decirlo.
Starts rattling his door.
And
I'm sorry. The moment stuff starts running towards me.
La muñeca está bien, no se ha movido.
Aquí está el video con mejor
I'm going to give my thoughts before we go into the this one creeped me out. I don't know if it's real. I just know it's creepy. And we had other videos. This is not the only figure he has filmed. There was one on the couch at one point.
Yeah. Different
things. There are lots of EVPs in here, 2 different voices, which is consistent with the other stuff. He has a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear what sounds like a female voice, and you will often hear what sounds like a male voice throughout here. Yes, we hear the voices. We hear what sounds like running feet towards him. So I have a bit of an update on this, and we'll play that in a second. But what I want to say here is the update almost makes me feel like this is fake. The problem I have with just calling it out on fake is if this dude's faking it, he's really smart, because the sounds they don't sound pre-recorded. They sound like they are happening live. The echoes, the ambiance, the room noise, like the reverb, all of it sounds legit. So if he's recording it on the exact same device at the and then putting it in, and he's doing an excellent job.
Yeah.
So looking into this one,
totally possible it could have been faked. So
he had an update. So we talked about, people can't just move out of a house. It doesn't always work like that. So comes the next question. Why would you keep the doll? Let's go ahead and play the update, Matt.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, I don't speak Spanish. I did a little editing for time here, but he walks this whole thing. He goes out to the garbage people.
Fair.
Gives him the doll and says, basically, get rid of this damn thing. And then he walks away. There's a lot of this where he talks about what he did there. I clipped some of it out because I don't know what he's saying anyway, but basically, I'm getting rid of the doll. Cool.
Una muñeca maldita menos. Son las...
So hear the noise. I cut the beginning of this out, but it's 2-something in the morning.
Ya me desperté para trabajar.
This is where things get a little...
Hace 3 días grabé un video
Do I buy this? I don't know, but...
de cómo tiraba al camión de la basura a la muñeca. Es que esto es como una broma de mal gusto. Vean.
First off, the red lighting in your room makes everything creepier.
Yeah.
And the doll's back.
It is. Gets a little more interesting.
Ahí está. Y hasta parece que me está viendo.
If it starts floating.
It doesn't, but...
Okay.
But things still get a little weird here. Oh, and I will say there...
Estoy harto ya. Iba a decir que me estoy hartando, pero
I
no,
do
ya
put
estoy
2
harto.
clips together.
Alexa, luz del cuarto blanco frío. ¿Qué?
Okay. Weird timing. Totally different meanings of K. Yeah, it's covered in what looks to be blood.
Y no voy a tocar esa madre.
So he actually says that. I did translate 2 things when I was doing this myself. One of them is, what do I do?
Tiene sangre.
That is one of the things. And the other one is it says something like, that's blood. Or cold blood or something blood.
No quiero tocar.
Yeah, I don't Tikiro either, sir.
Tiene sangre.
In sangre means something blood, or yeah. And then the other one
Ay,
is...
no mames.
Yeah, sangre is blood.
Okay, so this is cut, believe it or not. It's to a different scene, but this is after the doll has shown back up at his house.
Yeah, is he determined that if he like burns his entire house down, it'll be fine? Because that's where I'd probably be going at this point.
Con un artículo. Y escuchen. En serio me estoy hartando.
Here's what I appreciate. Again, that sounds very much like it's happening in the room with him. And he's going to go investigate.
Pero quién
where the
eres?
sound's
¿Qué
coming
quieres?
Which is just a tiny little bathroom.
Alexa, enciende la luz del baño.
I like that he's talking to his
Alexa, yeah.
device. I was trying not to say it in case it like started triggering viewers' devices.
Pero es que
Try to be considerate, you know.
ya no sé qué
Painted
hacer.
upside down crosses in his room.
He did? I
On
didn't
the
even
wall.
notice that.
Yeah, you'll
Perdón
see.
por el desmadre que hay en todo mi cuarto, en serio. Me han dicho que intente comunicarme a través de un espejo.
I don't know what
Ahí
he's
está
saying. I'm sure. See? On the wall. He talks about his dogs. Look at that. I don't know what that's all about.
Y otra vez.
This gets interesting.
Como que sí.
Is there something in the window?
Maybe.
There was.
¿Qué quieres?
Yeah. Oh, it's just the wall behind it. Never mind.
The window's open. It's a sliding window and it's open. Probably for temperature.
Yeah.
He goes right to it and shows you there's no one out there. And again, it just sounds like it's happening right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound added in.
No sé qué hacer.
puedes decir quién eres?
¿Tú?
I'd be using that bathroom real quick, but having
So
to get out real quick too.
For those who asked, he did try to get rid of the doll. It just didn't work. So here are my thoughts on this, because I'm going to give these thoughts. He has a bunch of videos. You guys can go watch them. There's a story here. And it's not really a story. It's just clips of things that have happened in his place. He documents it when he can. It seems real suspect that he gets rid of the doll and it shows back up, what with blood. That seems highly suspect to me. What I will say is that if he's faking the rest, he's doing a great job. And it's just really fun to watch these clips, man. Yeah. So he is not going over the top with what you see. He is being very mostly what you hear. We'll show you little things. And with that, did you see it in the update? Because it's a blink and you miss it moment, and I almost did. So I have a highlight of it here that you can watch because I didn't see this. But remember the thing that popped out from behind the door? Well, let's show this little highlight clip.
Yeah, not a fan of this one.
Slow down. And just in case you miss it, we'll zoom in and slow down.
Yeah, it's something Jay loves to do is little freeze frames without telling me what they are. And then there you go.
You said a hoodie. It kind of looks like hair to me, almost like a female, but I do see the hoodie thing as well. Here's the thing I have to say about this. Oh, that's it. It's Matt. We just figured it out. Here's what I have to say about this. Again, probably could be maybe fake, whatever. Weird place to fake it.
Yeah. On the floor, under his chair, between his legs. But also the camera just coincidentally goes down there for a split second, just long enough to film it. Yeah.
He's standing up, and that's just it. It's so fast in the original clip too. It's not like he's trying to get you to notice. I don't know. Yeah. If he's faking, he's really smart about his faking.
Yeah.
But like I said, regardless, these are fun clips to watch. I did look all over online. I Googled it. I looked into it. I tried on TikTok. I tried to find. I will tell you, people think this is real. Okay. Overwhelmingly, people are supportive of him, but I couldn't find. Sometimes people will do fake TikToks on purpose, that they are. They do these series, which I guess makes sense. I can't find anything where this has been claimed to be fake by him or anybody else. So I don't know, but I always thought that the video was creepy. Things running at you, like Matt said, creep me the hell out. And so this was
things you can't see
that I remember watching. And it's funny because Matt brought up the Behind the Funny Guys. This was actually a clip that I had to show them before I got booted out. So it would have been fun to get their perspective on it. But that was my paranormal. Again, go watch more videos similar to these on TikTok. They're short, and so there you go. Matt, what do you have in the world of paranormal? Hold on, Matt. Hold on. I was gonna make you look at the freeze frame again. No, you're fine.
No, I'm done looking at that. I'm good.
Matt hates my freeze frames.
Yeah. All right. So for my paranormal clip that we got for the week, I decided to bring one that got the most discussion that I think we've ever had on this show about an individual clip.
Yes.
And that would be the Raytown High School UFO video.
If I recall, man, I made you play this. I said, "Well, play it again."
It was
play it again? Can
easily about
I went
30 times that we watched this one. And again, this was filmed in Raytown, Missouri. I forget the exact date that it was filmed, but
it's a couple of years old.
I'll post it up there. I was in 2022, I believe.
Yeah.
But the thing that made this so interesting to at least me, I'm assuming you as well, is it appears to, and this is something we found out on the show, it appears to have been filmed on two different cameras.
We got two different cameras, and that's what I kept making you, two different doorbell or whatever cameras. And I wanted to determine that they were, in fact, two cameras and not just a zoomed-in version, and we did that. They're clearly slightly different angles.
Yeah.
But enough so.
And I'll put the original episode that this is in up as a clip that you can go ahead and watch that. to get our full discussion on that. But this one, not only did we discussed on the show proper, but with the guys from Behind the Funny as well, because I, to be honest, I had to kind of scramble to find a clip to talk about and mentioned it to them, and they wanted to see it as well. So we got their viewpoint on that as well. But in this entire clip, you can actually see it go from the right side of the screen to the left. And at this point, it's kind of long gone, but it's about to switch over to the other angle. And when it goes to this other angle, you can see it go through the trees
like
in the
flashing
background.
light or something down by that door on the school.
And I think we actually talked about that in the
probably did.
original episode. But
I also want to point out,
there's
and
so
I know
many things.
I know I pointed this out on the original episode. Why I know it's not added post, or if so, these guys they did a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's because when it goes behind the tree, you can still see it through the tree.
Yeah.
So this is the second angle, like Matt said. And we did determine that it is a slightly different angle. I tried like zooming in and stuff to make sure it wasn't. So when it goes behind that tree, you can still see it.
Yeah.
Through the tree for a bit. That would be really hard for a guy at home to fake. I could do it. But I don't want to discuss what I'd have to go through to do it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be worth my time. And most people wouldn't think to do it.
Yeah. And this one, like I said, the reason that made my list for one of my favorite clips that we talked about of the year, paranormal stuff, is the two angles. For one, we know the date, we know the exact location that, as I said on the episode, I could drive to and be there in an hour.
Yeah, and since you know what side of the school it's on, you could probably know what these houses look like.
When I say exact location, I could walk up onto those porches.
Don't.
Like that. No. Like if I saw somebody outside and could approach them and ask if that was okay, then yeah, sure. I would never do anything without permission, such as this. But I could go to the exact spot that these were filmed, possibly even talk to the homeowners, possibly get the original clips, everything. And knowing the fact that they got posted online, they probably still have them somewhere. But this is so
Here's the flashing light.
Interesting to me because of everything that we know. Exact dates, exact times, locations, everything. And the fact that it's multiple cameras that caught it. But yeah, it got you and I, to discuss. I mean, there was easily a good 15 minutes I had to cut out of the episode just because we had to, and I sped up a lot of it too. But
so a couple of things.
It got a conversation going at the very least.
So Matt and I didn't know what each other were going to pull before
this. No,
we just said go pull them. And when I knew we were going to do updates, this one had intrigued me so much that I went to look for an update. There are none. In other words, nobody can still explain it. No one knows what happened. But what's interesting is I was trying to read people's thoughts on what it could be. And man, I've heard like, well, it could be a weird mist, but people are like, it can't be. It doesn't move like a mist. Like it doesn't really make sense. And the predominant theory I've heard, and seriously, is a group of starlings. I forget what they call it when they fly in a pattern.
It's a murmuration.
Murmuration, thank you. And so because of that, I went specifically to find videos of a murmuration of starlings or any bird, for that matter, at night. I couldn't find any. I found a couple at like dusk-ish.
We'll put
they don't
an example
like
of a murmuration.
Of what a murmuration is.
Yeah.
They don't look like this. They're not that uniform. And what really would throw it off, why you don't see it at night, is because birds are dark and people are like, well, the light's reflecting. It's not a murmuration. It's not what they look like. This is one uniform thing.
Yeah. Most birds are also diurnal, so they're not going to be out at night.
Most, yes. But something could spook them, anything, but that's still, you would not see them like this. They would not be bright white. It just wouldn't be, even if something was reflecting
locked into like a holding pattern.
Oh yeah, there's no movement in that pattern, like in the object. There's no.
Yeah, that object doesn't change
don't
shape.
work like that.
Yeah,
you've seen them. You've all seen a murmuration plenty of times. Except Matt put some on the screen there. This is not what that is. So it's very intriguing. We don't know if well, obviously it's a UFO. It's unidentified.
It's an unidentified flying object, or a
we
UAP is
don't-
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
I like that better for this because we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's
Yeah.
alien or if there is a logical explanation, but no one knows what that explanation is. This is a really good one.
Yeah.
And I ripped that episode apart. Like I think I dug into that one harder than anything where I'm like, play that again. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm checking this out. And I couldn't find anything that would explain stuff away. I tried, man. Matt knows I tried hard.
Yeah. I actually, in the episode, I had to like pause and address it. I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of crazy. Like we're having to, I can't just pause the episode or pause the video as we're talking about it. So I was like, I'm doing what I can here, but yeah, we ripped it to shreds on that one.
Well, I wanted to see, can I see anything that would make me question it? And I just couldn't find anything on that one. So.
Yeah.
All right. Those are some fun ones. We highly recommend checking those episodes out. We will Matt will probably put some links in the show notes to the specific episodes so that if you want to check them, you can. But another thing we try to do when we can is update on things when we know there's an update. And as it so happened, we both had something to update. So early on this show, we did a video.
This is back in our mini episodes era.
Yeah, it was a mini episode. It was still like 10 or 15 minutes long, but it was the haunting of the Hooker 8466. Now, I want to be very clear. The Hooker 8466, I think that's a fishing term, even though it doesn't sound like one. Yeah. But hookers are what fishermen call each other a lot, I think, if I come to understand this. So it's actually not that one of a term. He's not a prostitute, to the best of my knowledge.
It could be.
So I have an update because he happened to give a recent update, like very recently. All right, so this guy and I believe it's his wife. I think he says that they move into this new place. They start experiencing paranormal activity. This is kind of what we showed. He starts documenting it, right? The very first video, we did not actually talk about that originally. So I have that here today. His first video was posted 4 years ago. And it's been sort of a continuing story off and on over the last 4 years. So what we're going to play first is kind of what we didn't play originally was his first video and an explanation as to why he thinks this is where it started, and then some kind of highlights. So let's go ahead and kick that off now, and he will talk. I did cut some of this for the sake of time. His story is a little long, but this is where it starts.
Friday the 13th, too.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
So if you missed it, something like runs out on the road. It's weird.
Interesting.
It looks like a cloaked figure.
Yeah.
Dyer Lane is where he saw this, apparently.
Also on the 13th.
And I saw a light off in the distance, but I thought it was a light from like a house or something, but there's no houses in that direction.
There's a lot more.
Anyways, as I was approaching this spot right here, I noticed that the light was moving. And so I turned my camera to look at it. And as I did that, I was able to see that there was a shadowy figure of a body attached to this light. I don't know if anyone ever noticed that. I mean, it took me a minute to notice it, so I just wanted to show you what it was, you know. Babe.
Already my skepticism begins.
Oh, man.
I clipped a lot of this for time, guys. He walks through the whole house yelling, babe. Goes in the garage, everything, to let you know she's not here. Even addresses the dog. What he should have said is pay attention to the window, not watch. I cut this because he searches all around.
Jinskies, you're my witness. You heard whatever's at the door, right? God, if cats could fucking talk.
Yeah, it was like, no, I didn't see anything, dude. Like, okay.
Where are these fucking open?
Now the blinds are open and they were closed before. That's why.
I got the fucking chills again, dude. I gotta get dressed. I'm out of here, dude. Fuck that. Fuck. As I get to the door, I tried to open it, but something pulled it out of my hands and closed it again. You can hear the panic in my voice as I'm trying to open it.
Quick question for you. When you're done eating at your dining room table, do you put the chairs on top of the table?
No, never
Okay,
have.
making
But
sure.
yeah. But it doesn't. Maybe some people do. I just.
I mean, if you're getting ready to sweep underneath it, sure.
I'll address it. I can't
just
decide.
Skeptic, a real big skeptic myself. I mean, I see videos all the time, and
This is my skeptical face, but also
So I understand if you guys are skeptic big time, because I totally am skeptic. But I'm not here, I'm not posting this to convince you, I'm just want people to see what I see.
All right. Before we go into the update. With the original video we showed was a lot tamer than some of this. And it was things moving in the background and things like that. And it seemed very legit to me. I watched the update and that caused me to go back. And like I said, there are 4 years of sporadic videos and it unfolds a story. And it is very clearly a story unfolding. And my issues started developing really quick in that, okay, cool. The cabinet or the doors opening looked neat, but there's no, and maybe there isn't some of his videos, but why did you suddenly put up a stationary camera there? Like the camera just always happens to be where it needs to be. A pillow falling over might seem creepy, especially if things are happening, but he gets up and walks through the entire house. I cut it for time's sake. Babe, and she's not there. Now, how he wouldn't know she was there is beyond me. And he always points things out to you.
Yeah. Like
so
right
you
now,
know
I know
where to-
Connie's upstairs.
Correct.
You
I
probably know
Connie.
exactly where your
I know
wife is at
Melissa's
right
upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also tends to point out exactly what you need to be looking for, and not just the after the fact of pay attention to the window. If you watch his videos, there's a lot of like him almost gently guiding you where you need to be paying attention. That being said, the originals that we showed,
And I'm gonna bring up what I brought up in the previous one, the stylus. Okay, so and we're not showing, we don't have that clip for this episode, but there's an episode where a video where he's doing this, almost like subtly like pointing because something happens just over his shoulder when he's doing this,
almost like he's guiding you to.
He's pointing you towards what you need to be seeing.
All right. Well, he recently posted an update, and
Okay.
Matt, the update is what drew me back in.
I have not watched this update for the record.
To make me like, even the way he talks to the cat. If only cats could talk. You're my witness, right? And I cut this. There's a lot more of him just babbling on. It just sounds like he's trying to convince you. But what drew me back in was the update. And when I watched the recent update, I went and did a little further research and pulled these clips because, well, I'm going to let you watch. Now, I trimmed the hell out of the update because he tells it's long, even with what I have, but he tells you the story. Again, this is unfolded. And I'm leaving a lot out of him and his wife leaving. Finally, they leave this place. They quit their jobs. I
was going to say, I think when we first talked about it, they were like considering separating or something.
Yes. There's a whole story about him and his wife having trouble because of it and all that. So let's go ahead and play the update video from him. And we will need volume for this because this is all him talking. Okay. So you can see when it was.
And it's been a long time. I feel okay now enough to tell everyone what happened. This is the first time I've talked about this. We got into Nevada the sun was coming up about 7 in the morning.
I cut
We get
a
into
bunch because he
town.
just
When we get to the
gives
house,
details he doesn't need to give.
pull up and we gotta, unlock the door to just get inside. And I mean, we haven't been to this house in like 5 years.
Different house.
Nobody's been to the house in 5 years. It was probably full of cobwebs and whatever else decided to want to live in it if it could get in there. The pipes froze and burst. So the place is flooded and frozen. We had nowhere to go. We had to unload the U-Haul truck and get that thing turned in because I had no more money. But on the
I accidentally clipped it out, but it is
morning,
important.
no, third morning.
They sleep in their car at night because
Wife-
they have no heat and the pipes were busted, so they're waiting for it to come out and get fixed.
She woke up to me not in the car. I don't know where I was. I don't know where I went, what I did. I don't remember anything. For 6 days. 6 solid days. That evening, my wife went into town and went to the police station to try and file a missing persons report. They, from what my wife said, pretty much blew her off, saying that it was some domestic dispute and I probably just bounced. It was too soon to file any kind of report. She goes back. The next day, nothing.
I'm calling
Next
bullshit.
day, nothing. By this point, it was like 3 days.
because we've
She's
talked
been
about
on
that.
the road. She's calling people to find out where I was.
He's
if
been
I was
gone for
there,
6
or
days. That's too
they've
early.
seen- they've
Come
seen
on.
me.
Only 3 right now.
She went to the closest neighbor, which he was half a mile away behind the hill.
Still,
She went there, told him what was going on, and he said, "Okay, I'll look for him, I guess." And so apparently he was on his quad. This is on the 6th day. My wife didn't go back to the police station because she just felt like they were just dismissing it. Like,
which is
ain't
why
shit.
there would be no police report for us
So
to
apparently on the
verify this.
convenient.
But
day, my neighbor was cruising around on his quad through the hills, and he found me on the backside of this mountain-ish hill thing, and
how else would you have made this video if he didn't
I was
find you?
dirty, and I was mumbling. What he said sounded like an old foreign language, a language he didn't understand, but it sounded old and it sounded real. Like I said, I don't remember anything. I don't even remember that. I don't remember being found. I don't remember anything until we were about halfway back to Sacramento. And yeah, we came back to Sacramento because we quit our jobs. We had nothing. So yeah, I don't remember anything until about halfway back to Sacramento.
You cut this, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've been
Okay.
living in a hotel.
You still get the gist. I just cut out.
Again,
There's a lot of
and we're
detail
actually
that
moving
didn't
in a
need to
couple
be there.
days, but we're going to be moving back into my sister's house. I know it sounds crazy, but ever since that 6 days of not remembering shit, nothing has happened at all. Gone. Not even a faint feeling of something. Nothing. So I don't know what happened. I don't know why it stopped or where it went or whatever. I don't know. All I know is that it stopped. Any videos you see from here on out are going to be of me and my wife and the dogs living our lives in happiness.
And then he posts those right with this connected. And I
Here it
cut
is.
these down too.
And that-
So August to October. Now it's October.
Oh, nothing. Just looking at how pretty you are. Oh, baby.
Oh, I cut
Oh,
way down.
no, I don't. You're so beautiful, baby.
Geese, I have a question for you. Damn it. Just wanted to ask a question. Why is this rock here? You know? It's a rock. You're a slate. Go. And we have these guys. We have these with us. Those things.
We'll try to give them away.
Yes. Do you want a dog? Do you want
this dog? You want this dog?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Please just leave me alone.
I can't. Somebody watch Blair Witch. Yep. Okay.
All right.
I want to tell you that people are. I am not saying it's fake, although I think it's fake. People online they're like, dude, oh man, we support you, we love you, brother. We hope you're doing okay. And remember, this has been a story. Like Matt said, it started here. Look, we're driving out here one night, we see this weird thing. The next thing you know, small events start happening. And there's a whole bunch of videos over the last 4 years. Things seem to escalate. He always tells you, he always has, one of the videos is like, oh, my neighbors aren't next door. I don't even know if they've been there for a while. Suddenly I hear noises. Look, oh my God, what's going on? And it unfolds the story. Him and his wife start having problems. They start talking about splitting up and leaving. And then they go out to they leave their place to go to stay at this house out in the middle of nowhere that I forget how they got it or whatever. But the pipes have burst, so they have to sleep in their car for a couple nights and run the heater because they bought gas. I leave all this out. They bought plenty of gas, so they were running the car at night. And then he just comes up missing. She goes to the police, but the police, they don't buy it. It's only been a night. We don't, and like Matt and I said, that's actually not true. You can report somebody missing in 20 minutes, and they will start looking. In fact, they prefer. But
the sooner they find you, the better.
After 3 days,
it means they can move on to some actual stuff if you're doing this kind of stuff.
She then waits, according to his story, 3 days and starts contacting friends and family, see if they've heard from him. Then she goes to a neighbor a half a mile up the road and says, well, you look for him. And he's out on his quad and he finds him dirty. And now I'm like, is it wintertime? Because your pipes were, I don't know, they could have frozen a year before for all I know. But the place is still flooded? Like your story's not making sense. And I'm mumbling a foreign ancient language. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
I mumble all the time, but it's usually because I'm halfway coherent and just woke up.
I just happened to have this weird little corrupted video of a few seconds of my missing time. And I'm like, please leave me alone. It's Blair Witchian. Yeah. And it is such a cap to the end of this story. It feels. Now, again, I did my research to see if this was supposed to be like an online, like he's filming it as a dramatic like thing, but no, I can't find that. Like everything, very little information that he's even if you go to his channel, he doesn't tell you much about himself, if anything, really. No, he's acting like this is real, and everybody seems to believe it, but I don't buy it at all. Yeah. So
now let me ask you this:
mm-hmm.
hypothetically, say you go missing. Okay. How upset are you going to be with your wife if she doesn't make any effort to look for you for 3 days?
Right.
And then they find you, and then you find out she didn't even look for you for 3 days. Are you gonna be okay with that? Because
also, if you've been missing in the mountains or in the hills for 6 days, you're going to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to the hospital.
You're not coming back home, grabbing your camera and filming an update video.
Matt's called it, and I thought the same thought. He called it right when he heard it. He's like, oh, that's convenient. No police report. Right. No medical records. No police report. No photos of him after he returned.
Yeah, they would take photos of you at the site that they found you.
Like
this is how we found him.
This is just, sorry, man. A cool story. If that's what you're doing, which is fine if you are.
Yeah.
But maybe let that be known in your bio or something.
And when you end the video, go, and scene. How'd you like that, guys? That was a fun little story.
And everything.
Cool. All right.
So
yeah,
fake.
People will feel a little betrayed if they actually believed it. But at least they would know,
Oh, and I want that to be clear. I didn't splice videos together at the end. That was all. I just cut it for time. That was all one video. So from now on, the only thing you're going to see are videos of me and my wife. Like
here's videos of me and my wife, and then
which I trim them down because
then I found this update.
Yeah, it's like that's the end of a movie. That's what they would do in a found footage movie. Like it's just that I'm not buying it. But You guys can go check it out. The Hooker 8466 on YouTube, and you can watch all 4 years worth. And it isn't a video every week. In fact, it had been 11 months or something like that from that one to the one before it. So it's not like I think over 4 years there might be 30 some videos or something like that. So if you guys want to go check them out, you can.
And he's probably put them in a playlist of some kind.
It is a fun little story, I guess, to watch, but whatever.
Sure.
Matt has an update as well. You have two.
I got 2 updates.
Let's get into those really quick, and then we'll close this episode out. And yeah, Matt, what do you got for us?
So every once in a while, something that we talk about comes along that, you know, it kind of like tickles a little part of the back of your brain that makes you go like, I want to follow up on this. I want to see if there's something more that happens, like anything else that happens. And there was a video that went very viral, just outside of our channel. It was going extremely viral based on what happened. Like it was a genuinely concerning,
could be, yeah,
like video, like what had taken place. And I'm not going to list her screen name or anything like that, but it went big on TikTok. But this girl is the original video, which I don't have, and I'll get into why I don't have it. She is doing yoga in her apartment, and somebody breaks into her apartment.
Yep.
She goes to get away from this person, and on her way out the door opens up on its own, and she runs out. Okay. And then people catch it later on, like, wait a minute, how did the door open on its own for you? Well, then there's another clip, whatever. The next thing that she posts, she's unpacking and her friend is there in the house. And it may not be in this order, but she's unpacking stuff. And then the friend claims that she sees somebody in the house again. And they go to investigate it. And then suddenly a handprint pushes down on the bed, right? So for every actual like potential break-in that's happening, there's something paranormal that's happening alongside it. And she does, you know, a couple little things, and I'll go ahead and I'll play those clips while we're kind of talking about them.
I think we'd had discussion like, is this real or is this some kind of art thing?
Yeah.
I remember thinking that
yeah.
Like
so
some
this
of
is
her
one of the clips
were weird.
Yeah.
Like the bedroom one, like where they.
This is the bedroom one, actually.
This is her friend, yeah.
Yeah. You can hear her friend.
Like, why would you be filming yourself unpacking, first of all?
Yeah.
Also, if I hear my friend scream in my new apartment, I'm not going to creep in on him. And she's still standing right there.
30 minutes later, after hiding in the kitchen. Okay. So this is all just for context of what we're talking about. These are some of the original clips.
I would have went to see what it was right up front in my new apartment.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it does have this clip in there. So this is the initial clip that went very viral.
Just weird because it doesn't look like the same girl.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely the same girl. And we'll get into that.
I believe it. She just looks different.
But she's been doing yoga, so.
Make sure you grab your phone before you run from the person that door opened by itself. We determined it's like a door into a breezeway into the hallway of her building.
Yeah. So these are apparently all the original clips. I didn't think I had found them all, but apparently I did. So. And again, we'll get into that. I understand, like, you know, fun little cat videos, but that cat would have taken off. Yeah.
I can't argue the legitimacy of that because your wife actually does those sometimes of your cat, so I know people do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Connie, I wasn't making fun. I was saying that backs up why someone might be doing that.
Yeah, it's a thing people do, but
sure.
The cat would have probably, if something that was a legitimate danger.
I think there was a real
most cats would take off running.
Mine might not. They're weird. Like, there was a noise. The question is, was it something she had set up or?
Yeah. Now here's the handprint on the bed is where this one comes in.
Which don't look, it looks more like knee prints, maybe. I can't quite. She conveniently stood there and filmed it long enough, and then she turns around to keep filming it, which seems weird to me.
Yep. Okay, so now there is one other clip in this.
Okay, update.
Where she kind of goes into it, and then we'll go into what I found out.
Fine, I'm alive, and I'm back here in my apartment. I do have someone with me this time. Say hi. Hi. Okay, so yeah, obviously terrifying experience, but a lot of you were asking about the door, and so I kind of wanted to, like, I guess, address it. I don't know.
Like,
I'm just as confused as you guys are. I have no fucking idea what happened. The best I could explain it is like divine intervention, or like just like some sign. I don't know. That sounds stupid, but but like that's really the only way I can explain it. You can see there's like some tape on here. The landlord just kind of like lazily kept it on there for, I don't know, like a paint job, and I have been meaning to take it off, but I didn't take it off just so I can show you this, because this door is not the easiest to open, and this is why I think it's like...
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
You notice what she doesn't say at any point is, I talked to the police, I filed a police report.
Correct.
Which you would do if somebody just abruptly walked into your apartment.
Yeah.
So maybe. Like if somebody walked into my apartment and was like, "Oh shit, I'm in the wrong apartment." Okay, but that's not
and I'll go ahead and I'll speak on that specific type of situation. I've been in that instance. I have actually been in a situation where back when I was in college, I lived in a apartment situation with a couple roommates, and we were at both of our apartments, or there was two apartments that were at the top of a set of stairs. Right? If you went to the left, that was our apartment. It was occupied. We had people living there. The other one was an apartment that was being worked on at the time, and unfortunately, before anybody moved in, it was susceptible to break-ins a lot because people were coming in and stealing tools of people as they were actually renovating this apartment. Well, one day, we're all sitting in the living room, and somebody opens up our front door and walks into the apartment. And turns out, my roommate's girlfriend had left the door unlocked when she had come in, which was one of the rules of the house. Like, you have to lock the door behind you. We don't need people breaking in. We don't need people just walking in. It was actually bad enough that, like, we kept a bat near, like, all the chairs that we were sitting on just in case anybody did walk in. And in this day, somebody walked in. I had to grab a bat and get the person to leave. Nobody was hit. Everybody was totally fine. But somebody did walk into our apartment. And you know what their reaction was? Oh, sorry, I came in the wrong place. Well, we knew the only reason that they were up there in the first place was most likely to steal tools from the other apartment. And they went to the left instead of the right.
But you didn't call the cops because they were
didn't call the cops.
Sorry, wrong place.
Wrong place. We did let our landlord know.
This person didn't do that.
They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything with that.
This person approached her and was like, "Hey, we like said something
we're
like
friends.
We'll be friends or something." I don't know,
like,
creepy.
Let's
You'd
be
call
friends. Yeah, I would have called the cops immediately. Run. Take your... What was that?
We froze.
Your camera just... I'll probably leave that in because it's kind of fun.
What did it do? Mine just froze on my side.
On my side, it looked like your lights dimmed. It didn't freeze on my end at all. It just looked like your lights dimmed.
We were both frozen on my end for a few seconds. So
that's strange.
Weird. We don't know what that was, but Matt
anyway,
wants to leave in. Yeah, we didn't set that up, guys. On my end, it was just the screen froze for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Matt
And
says he saw. I don't know what Matt saw. I'm interested.
it'll be in the cut. So anyway,
So anyway,
but yeah, going back to that, like
you have an update of some
authorities would have been called, landlords would have been notified. You know,
You
she
would think,
had
right.
people, like you would let them know.
And I don't expect you to put the freaking police report up on the screen for me to see, but you didn't even address whether you called the cops, whether you filed a report, or what the cops had to say about it. That's weird.
So here is my update, and why I also abruptly quit playing her clip. I think the entire thing is staged for multiple reasons. And we've kind of talked about it off air, but ever since we talked about this show, and this is not something that I've ever addressed on the show, but ever since we actually played that clip originally, I've saved her profile, and I would go back periodically and check on it and just see if there's been any updates. And for a while, there was minimal updates. There was a lot of people in the comments asking for an update, asking, are you okay? Did the police come? Did anything happen regarding that? And there was just radio silence from her. Now, I decided, you know, a little while ago when we started talking about doing this update video, and actually while I was doing, and this will lead into the next update that we have on one of my other clips, when I was doing the edit on our previous episode where we played the video we're going to discuss in a minute, I was doing an edit, noticed, you know, this is kind of what kicked off this whole thing, noticed that there had been an update on that video, and I was like, hey, while I'm on it, let me see if there's anything going on with this. So what I found, and I'll actually cut it in on screen, and I'll actually share my screen with Jay here in a second. This is what I found. All right. So what Jay is seeing on the screen right now is that her entire page has now gone completely private. The only way you could see anything related to this channel is if you originally saw it before she made it private. Now, in hindsight, I should have followed her to see if we could get any kind of update on this. But as it stands right now, she has made her entire account private, which leads me to believe that
I have other
what I
issues.
have found about that is completely true.
What else I see,
and I'll go
when
into that.
looking at that is she's on TikTok. She was only following 4 people, but she has almost 14,000 followers.
Correct.
She has 3.1 million likes. Now that is that earns you money on TikTok.
Yes, it does.
And a viral video of you doing yoga, like you doing yoga and somebody walking into your place, that's the kind of video that's going to go viral. It just is.
And it did.
I have a lot of opinions and a lot of thoughts on that.
Yep. That original video made the rounds on the bigger paranormal clip show channels that we talk about all the time. And that's how I first heard about it in the first place.
So leads me to different questions. The first one is was that BS? Or was that one real and you didn't have anything to follow it up with? So you started making stuff up? Or was it all made up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, here's what I found out about her, about the original creator of the video, we'll say. What I had found out about her through her own TikToks originally, right, was that she had moved to, I believe, New York was where all that took place. And she moved to New York in order to become a film student.
Right.
And at one point, all of her videos were literally like her just bird watching. It was her going to parks and filming birds, and it was all like bird watching content. Then suddenly she moves to New York, and then, you know, all this stuff starts happening in her apartment, and then she goes basically dark, like just stops responding to comments. Her replies to comments that she was giving originally were just very, very vague. They were very, which, I mean, I can understand somebody wanting to try to keep some stuff private, but when you have something like that happen to you, allegedly, and people ask questions such as, "Are you okay? Are you safe?"
It could get overwhelming if
It
you
could,
were answering it a
I
bunch.
get that. I get that. But that was the
Overwhelming.
thing. She wasn't answering a bunch.
Well, we don't
Didn't
know
seem to be, at least.
and
Yeah.
what other outlets like. I don't know. It is weird that she suddenly just makes her account private, but
Yeah.
again, it could make sense. Like it's just too much, and I can't handle it, so I'm making the account private so that I don't have to. I don't know.
Which, I mean, that's all fair. And I totally get that. But the way that she did update, whenever she would update, it was so just like nonchalant, like, yeah, everything's good. It was like somebody literally said, you have not commented on this situation in
Yeah, you've
over a
seen
month.
multiple
Are
people
you okay?
in
It was
your
people who were
apartment.
genuinely concerned.
And are you still in the apartment? And have you seen anybody? Like these are questions that you think you'd answer, but
Yeah. And there was just
I don't know, man.
nothing. And then
I was skeptical
all I see is
the first
accounts
time.
private.
If it
Yeah.
would just been the video of her doing the yoga and this stuff, it's
Yeah.
just her reactions were just very like, "Oh, we hid in the kitchen for half an hour."
Yeah.
What? You didn't call the cops?
Yeah.
And also when a dude breaks into your apartment and you go to run, you stop to pick up your phone. Like you made a point of picking the phone up so you could film the door.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah, there was so many things that were kind of questionable that when suddenly it becomes like, oh, okay, this is my final official breakdown of what I think took place, like start to finish. I think she is a film student who wanted to make a short film based on a TikTok situation. Like she could use TikTok as like an alternative filming method.
which is what I think.
Make it
fine was.
found footage, which is fine. It's acceptable to do. Just let people know.
People know.
But what happened is she filmed something that was a little bit more intense than she intended, and it got out of hand with people replying. And I think she went, "Oh, wait, I can't walk this back. Like this went too big." And it's not something that I could just kind of, my camera did it again too.
Yeah, yours does that every once in a while. We've never been able to figure out what's
Not sure
caused it.
why, but that, yeah. Anyway, so moving on from that. It's nothing paranormal. That's all technological glitch stuff, but at least I assume. So anyway, I think what happened is she ended up creating something that got out of hand. And people were genuinely concerned for her safety, understandably. She filmed something where somebody breaks into her apartment. Now, if she hired somebody to just be that guy in the background, it's a little messed up because there's a potential that people could see that guy's face and go, that's the guy that broke into her apartment. Okay? So it can negatively affect him as well. I think people started asking the genuine, like, I'm concerned for your safety questions. That got a little bit too much, and she kind of went, yeah, I'm good. Everything, I'm fine, and then thought that would be the end of it. And unfortunately, you got people like me going, that can't be the end of it. There's got to be more to this. And then she ends up, now, granted, I never reached out to her in any way. I had considered it at one point to like see if we could like get some kind of comment from her, and I just never did. And now I'm starting to think that even if I had, she would just been like, yep, all good, whatever, and just kind of brushed it all off, because that's what she actually did in her videos, is she actually just basically brushed off anybody who asked if she was okay. She would just reply with, yeah, I'm fine, and then like, let's just move on. Well, you've had two documented break-ins that you've caught on film. One, you actually see the guy. The other one, you hear somebody allegedly in your apartment. There's going to be people who are concerned about that. And there was also, to be fair and full disclosure, there was other people who were like, hey, I know those apartment buildings. I know exactly where this is. And they would comment, if I can find out where you're at, so can other people. So people were actively kind of trying to warn her of like, we know where you're at. We're not going to do anything, but if there's somebody out there who's going to potentially harm you, you should be aware of that. If we can figure out where you're at by the inside of your apartment, and then you show part of the outside, people were concerned, and I think she didn't want them to be concerned, but she didn't know how to approach it. So she just kind of was like, and just, I'm a ghost in the wind now, and just completely just like shut it all down, which, okay, fair enough. But to an extent, I think at the very least, the one thing you see in there is there's no info in the bio. If she would just make a statement in the bio that said, this is what happened, all of that was, it was an art project, it got out of hand, fair enough. I think that people could move on from that. But instead, she chose to just go completely dark on it. Could be for safety reasons, could be the school project is done, she's moved on, or it could be that maybe whatever project she was working on got picked up and now she's under some kind of NDA situation. So there's all those kind of things, which leads me to my next update, the king of segues. You like that? Okay. So next update. In our last episode, we played the following clip, right? And I'm going to turn this down because it's irrelevant music. This is what I determined was the porch ghost clip, where on TikTok, this lady steps outside and sees her neighbor looking at a ghost on, near their porch at the same exact time.
And you want me to say what I said originally, what I
Please
think?
do. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my first problem is I think this guy saw it too, out of his window or something. He clearly goes outside, looks at it for a minute, and determines there's no concern. And then people say it moves. I don't think it moves. I think, to me, it just looked like she sort of moves the camera, and whatever we're seeing is just pixelation that shifts with the camera that happens to look sort of vaguely like the shape of a person. I had suggested maybe a Halloween thing because it was around Halloween, but I just think it's just pixelation and shadow, and that's what I thought from the beginning. So Matt says I'm sort of right and sort of not.
Sort of right, sort of not. Yeah. So, yes, the neighbor did in fact see something outside because they put it there. So, and this is all verified.
These guys, the guy that's looking outside right now.
Yes, he put it there.
Makes sense too. He's checking on it.
Yes.
See, there's no concern. He's not concerned about anything.
He's not concerned at all. You know why? Because that's a guy in a costume. They are filming a horror movie and failed to tell their neighbors that they were filming a horror movie.
That's fair.
Yeah. So she literally sees this, films this, posts it online. It starts blowing up because from her perspective, she's seeing what looks like a ghost. And the reason it moves is because the dude moved. Okay.
Well,
So-
okay, fair.
Yeah.
And like I said, it looks like moving pixelation or something to me. But if he's in a costume that's supposed to be
It's a black robe
unambiguous, it's
with a
supposed to
mask.
be hidden,
Yep.
it makes sense too.
Yeah.
First of all, even if you guys are making a cheesy, low budget horror movie, you just got the best publicity ever because you
Yes,
didn't
they
do
did.
anything.
Yes,
You
they
weren't
did.
hurting anyone. And this blew up, and now you can say, now people are going to want to see the movie that you were filming.
Yep.
God, it just automatically.
Now,
That's brilliant.
here's
I
more
love
of the update, okay? Because I did exactly what I did with the last clip. I saved her page and I went to it, and I didn't think to pull any of the update clips for this episode, so I'm just going to tell you what I've learned. So what happens is she films this clip and then posts it online. It starts going big. People start going, hey, go next door, see what it is, and things like that. So she goes out during the daytime and starts trying to like film. Okay, so basically what the whole story is, and like I said, I probably should have pulled the actual clips where she does the updates. But this is what happened. So she films that initial video. She has no clue what's going on. She sees what she thinks is a ghost and posts it. It starts going crazy. People start making comments. Go talk to the neighbor, see if he'll tell you what he saw. And she goes to talk to the neighbor, and he's not there. He's not home, right? Apparently, there's like a group of guys that live in this house, and none of them are there. Anytime she goes over, like she's going over, she films the whole thing. But no one's ever there to talk to her. So she kind of films like the side yard on the other side of the house, like where this entity would have been. And she's like, there's nothing there. There's no Halloween decoration. And, you know, she just kind of does as much investigating as she can without being able to talk to the neighbors. But every time she goes out to film and every time she goes out there, the intent is to talk to the neighbor, but they just aren't there each time she goes. Until one day she catches up with the neighbor and he kind of goes, "Oh, sorry, this is what happened." And he explains to her that they were making a horror film. And she's like, "Oh, okay." Now, generally the polite thing to do if you're making a horror film in a neighborhood and not on like a set somewhere is you go to the neighbors and let them know, "Hey, if you hear or see anything weird."
No way. I would never tell my neighbors that. If I was filming a horror film, and my guess is they just had one quick scene outside like that too. They probably didn't know.
Correct.
Who
But
knew
here's
that
the thing.
neighbor across the way is going to happen to look out and film right then? I mean, I would never tell my neighbors.
So
I'd feel stupid.
typically, yeah, you would. Okay. Typically though, horror films involve a lot of screaming and a lot of things that may sound like somebody's in danger, right? Now, a neighbor who doesn't know what's going on, if they were to hear screaming, now granted she sees a ghost, which you're not necessarily going to call the police on a ghost, but if somebody screams inside this house, a neighbor hears it, they are very likely to report that to the authorities.
I don't know about
who
that, man.
could show up. Yeah. Who could show up and kind of like go, "Hey, what's going on here?" And then, you know, story's over, obviously.
I feel like Matt's making a lot of unrealistic assumptions. I don't think anybody would call the cops. I think they'd go, "Do you hear screaming over there, Margaret?" And they would leave it alone.
Yeah. Well, I like to believe in the good of people.
I don't want to go.
Sometimes.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go off on a long story tangent here. I'm going to give you the very basics. Recently, and I haven't even really told Matt about this, last weekend, a good friend of ours, Stu, he was out for a walk. He calls me. He's out for a walk. He sees a group of teenagers. He's like, at first, I think they're messing around because that's what teenage boys do. There was a dude sitting right by these guys, right by them. Turns out these three boys were jumping another teenage boy. Stu realized when they kicked him in the head that it was real. Stu ran to the rescue. This other dude didn't make a move. Stu was in his car getting ready to leave. This other dude was sitting on a bench a couple of feet away. And I told Stu, I was like, you know, he says, the guy didn't even make a move until he saw me running at him. And I said, you know, that kid is lucky you were there. Most people don't react. It's a sad thing. And I'm with you.
True. Yeah.
Some of us will, and some of us won't.
And hey, shout out to Stu for jumping in and helping. So
yeah, I said, you probably did
probably saved that kid's life.
Or he could have. Yeah. And they caught it when he left. They'd caught at least one of the other boys, and the kid was okay. Stu talked to the kid. He'd been kicked in the head, but it was like a side kick, not a point toe kick, and probably stopped the kid from getting the shit beat out of him. But
that's good.
My point is, man, it's amazing how little people will react, and it's a frightening thing. But I'm telling you, man, I've heard gunshots in my own neighborhood, and I think a lot of times you're like, well, surely somebody's going to call. Now, if I heard screams coming out of a house, I wouldn't initially call. I would definitely keep listening. I have I have an autistic son. We've talked about this. My neighbors at this point are aware.
And that's the thing. You guys went and told them, "Hey, this is what you hear."
Knock on their door and be like, "Guess what?" At this point, they just sort of know. But I mean, he will get going, man.
They're aware.
He will be loud and yell and scream, and nothing bad is going on. He's just getting pissed. Nobody's physically harming this child, but it might sound like it, you know. So I'm just saying, if I heard a scream initially, it depends on what the scream is too. I have reacted to situations. I just want to be very clear. I'm not going to go into those stories, but I do think it's great though. I love that it's been addressed. I love that this is going to get them.
She even shows what the costume basically looked like.
That's cool. You should definitely pull that and put it on the screen.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think it's great that now when these guys,
and that was the thing. They also said that when the movie comes out, they're going to give her a copy of it. So
that's cool.
They were super cool about it.
Now everybody's going to be clamoring.
I want to see it.
I want to see it too.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's about, but now because it's tied to a viral video, I want to know.
Yeah, and
I think that's fun.
In my opinion, the best part about it, like best case scenario for her with this whole situation is she went, and I say best meaning like kind of funniest situation. She goes next door multiple times to try to talk to these guys, and they're just not home at the time for weeks, like at least days, right?
I'm assuming they're like college.
Yeah,
kids.
they're like college age kids, but yeah, like they're just making a movie and just didn't say anything to her, and she just happened to put her camera out the window and like, oh my god, what's going on, and didn't immediately go over and go, hey man, what was that? Because she's like, there's a ghost outside. I'm gonna go out there, and it's just coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. And I think that there's something involving like they even live like across from a cemetery or something. So it kind of like added to like how scary it could be and everything. Yeah. Perfect. But yeah, it just, when she brought it up to him, which was like, hey, I saw this. I saw you stick your head out the window, but I kind of want to know a follow-up from the guys, like hearing it directly from them. Because I mean, she said like, hey, I talked about it with them and everything. This is what they told me, and she's kind of like, I felt a little stupid at the time because I assumed it was that, but also it's apparently effective. It was effective enough that she believed what she saw. And I don't know if it's supposed to be a ghost movie or a slasher movie. I think it might be a slasher movie.
That would make sense
because like it's literally a person in a costume with like a robe on, so.
And I'm betting the scene was literally I bet that wasn't them filming. I bet you they were filming a scene from inside the house to outside and were like, hey, check on Gerald outside. And he's leaning out, like, is everything okay? It just makes a lot of sense once we know, which I think is pretty great. This is one of those best possible updates, and I love it.
The update on it ended up being kind of funny, and she even says like, this is the last update I'm going to make on it. There's no need to carry it on.
No need, right?
But I mean, like leading up to when she finds out, she's like genuinely like, what did I see? And I got to talk to these guys, and surely they'll come home at some point in time, and when they do, I'll actually talk to them. And she's like addressing those concerns of like, I'm telling you, every time I see them home, I can't get out there soon enough before they leave. And it's just, their paths aren't crossing, and it's just adding to the ultimate, like, oh, it turned out it was nothing. Like I freaked out over nothing. But she at least updated everybody and said, this is what it is. The video went viral, but she actively tried to figure out what the problem, not the problem, but to figure out what she saw. And, hats off to her for that one, but we'll put her information on there because it is kind of a funny little saga that she kind of goes through. So, but and I've been putting like little bits of stuff on the screen. So
cover was much like us. Yeah. Like, can I figure anything out? Is this legit? I appreciate that too. So this was a fun one. That was a fun update. I appreciate that update a whole bunch. Actually, we had some where we're both kind of like, we think it's bull crap, but then we had one where it's like just a lot of fun. And
what's kind of interesting is, because I said you're kind of right, you're kind of wrong on that, is you thought it was kind of fake. Turns out, yes, it was 100% fake. No, the wrong part is neither of us guessed the wild card third option of it being intentionally a horror movie that they were filming.
That is correct. Never would have guessed that, but I did say, and like, if there's something like, my first thought was like Halloween decoration, and you debunked that just saying like,
it would have been
way. Now we did know she went over there and checked.
Yeah,
because that was brought up on even that show. We didn't have the video, but she had gone over there and checked, like in the daylight.
And at the time, when I found that was when one of the only updates was that she had gone to look during the daytime, and then I went back to do even more research later on, and she had made more updates. And
first thought on it
more news.
It's a Halloween decoration, but that you would pretty much put the kibosh on that right off the right out the gate. So I'm like, okay, well, I just knew what was most telling to me was his reaction. This guy looked right out the door and he didn't act like anything. And so it just makes sense now why he didn't act like anything.
Yeah, because he knew exactly what was there.
Yeah. So fun one. I really liked
it. There physically was something there, but it was nothing that he needed to be.
But nothing for him to react.
About.
I mean, he reacted the way he should have. In other words, he didn't have a "oh my god" reaction.
It's like he knew it was there. He expected it to be there. He knew exactly who it was and what they were doing. Like he knew everything about it. But yeah, I mean, now to go back to my informing your neighbors thing, typically that is something that you would do as like, hey, we are making a movie. Please don't call the police on us, because if you call the police on us, we have to stop everything we're doing and do all that. I would
never do it. I would, and the police would get called and I'd be like, oh, we're filming a movie.
Yeah.
Whether I should or not is not the argument. Whether I would or not is the argument, and I wouldn't. I probably should, but I wouldn't.
Jay's an ass, basically.
I'm not an ass. 90% of the time, you're going to film it, and nothing's ever going to get said or done. No one's gonna know that you were filming it, because I'm betting the scene was a quick scene around their own house.
This was the whole thing as well. So it turns out, of the people filming and the neighbors as well, like the girl that films it and then the neighbors, one of them was new to the neighborhood. So like they didn't know each other, and like if she had known the neighbors and said like, oh, these guys are just film students or whatever, she never would have filmed that. So they had not communicated with each other at all. So it's all just this crazy like miscommunications across the board.
It's not it's not their direct next door neighbor either. She's clearly across the way a little bit. So mind your business. No, I'm just kidding.
So, but yeah, it's like sometimes miscommunication can lead to funny things like this, but then there's other ones where it's like intentional miscommunication, like the previous one where one person is like leading a narrative on everything and like she's intentionally keeping people in the dark about everything. So, both things can happen in paranormal stuff. So
there we have some updates though. And I like that one of them we gave a solid, debunk. We know. It's kind of like the Bigfoot one we did back in the day. When we know, and we'll let you guys know. And when we listen, I still don't know. The other three we showed could all be legit. We just don't, based off what we got, we don't think they are. And we're letting you guys know. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you appreciated it. Please let us know down in the comments what some of your favorites were. Maybe if you had a favorite episode or a favorite clip over the last 2025, I guess. Let us know. That'd be great. You can leave that down in the comments. While you're in the comments, if you're already down there, you could always hit the thumbs up, the like button. That'd be kind of cool. If you're gonna hit the like button, I'm trying to give you time. I don't know why you didn't have it ready, man. If you're gonna hit that, you should also you could share. That's always cool. So you could hit the share button. But you should subscribe. That's the one.
That's the big one.
Click the subscribe button.
We're so close to 300 right now that it's within our reach. I think if enough people,
300.
If you're lucky 300, we'll shout you out on the show, and we actually do have ways of knowing that. So
we have ways of knowing.
We have ways of making you talk.
Guys, we really appreciate you, each and every one of you. Come back next week when we are going to be doing a brand new Bigfoot one, and I got some great clips for it. Like,
I don't know which ones he's talking about, but he's been hyping these up.
If you're a Bigfoot enthusiast, there's one clip in here that I got to get your thoughts on. Like, because I got to know what people think. Because to me, I want to call it out as AI, but I can't. And I will get into it on the episode why I can't. But if you see something I don't, that's what we want. So definitely join us next week when we go into some cool Bigfoot stuff. If you guys have ideas for shows you'd like us to do in the future, let us know that as well.
Speaking of Bigfoot, how's Bob doing?
I didn't check. Hey,
we'll put that up as
and we'll just. I thought we'd just leave him alone for a little while.
I mean, we'll see.
Actually, I don't want to drag this on, but we are
still alive.
We're working on an episode where we kind of go over why the people trying to debunk Patterson Gimlin are full of crap. why we can debunk the debunkers. That's what we're basically going to do. Guys, we appreciate it. Thank each and every one of you. Please come back next week. And until you come back next week, because you're all going to come back next week, remember,
keep it creepy.
This is kind of creepy. Goosebumps rising on my spine.